Today's Daily Read Aloud is Spot's First Picnic by Eric Hill. "Mum, they'll be here any minute," shouted Spot to Sally. He was going on his first picnic with his friends, Tom, Helen, and Steve, and he was very excited. He squeezed 3 jam sandwiches into his backpack. "I hope I haven't forgotten anything," he said as he licked his sticky paws. "I've got my map, my apple, my drink. What else? That tastes yummy." He looked at the breakfast table with its nice check tablecloth, and he had an idea. "Just what I need for our picnic," he said. And before Sally could stop him, Spot had pulled the tablecloth off the table, and everything with it. Crash! Spot! Sally wasn't pleased. A knock at the door saved Spot from getting into more trouble. "Your friends are here, Spot," Sally called. Spot rushed to the door. Tom, Helen, and Steve were standing outside. "Oh, great," said Spot. "Let's go. Bye, Mum." Sally looked up at the sky. It was cloudy. "Be careful," she told them, "and come back if it rains." "Don't worry," said Helen. "I'll be in charge." "Up the hill first," said Spot. They climbed up the hill, and Spot pointed to a small wood on the other side. "Let's go there," he said. "I know that there's a stream and a big tree we can sit under for our picnic. Come on, I'll race you to the stream." Spot got there first. Steve was second, and Helen came in third. Tom panted up last, but when he saw the water, he was the first one in. Splash! "It was silly of you to jump in like that, Tom," Helen scolded. "You might have hurt yourself." "Sorry," said Tom, "but I'm cool now. Let's go eat. I'm hungry." Spot, Helen, and Steve crossed the stream on stepping stones. Spot put down a tablecloth, and Helen unpacked the food. Tom rolled on the grass to dry, while Steve climbed up the tree and watched. They had just started to eat when it began to rain. "Oh, no! Quick, everyone!" Helen shouted. "Put the tablecloth over the branch and make a tent." There was a big branch just above their heads. Spot and Helen put the cloth over it so that it hung down on each side and made a cozy, dry tent underneath. "Good idea, Helen." Steve didn't want to come into the tent. He stayed outside. It's only a shower," he said as he climbed up on the branch. Suddenly, Spot heard Steve shout, "Oops!" and the tent began to shake. Then everything went dark. Steve had slipped off the branch and pulled the tent down on top of everyone. "That's the end of our picnic," moaned Spot. It's all your fault, Steve," Helen complained. "You and your silly monkey tricks." Sorry." "We may as well go home," said Spot. They packed up and started back across the stream, but the stones were slippery from the rain, and Helen lost her balance. "Help!" she cried. They all tried to catch Helen. She wobbled this way, and then she wobbled that way. Then at last, she fell and pulled everyone into the water with her. Whoops! What a mess! Luckily, the stream wasn't very deep. Spot looked around at his wet friends and laughed. "That was your fault, Helen. You and your silly balancing tricks." Everyone started giggling, and Helen laughed too. "Wait till our mum sees us," Spot said. I've never had so much fun. Yeah, this is the best." But Sally had a surprise ready when they got home. "I knew you'd come back wet and hungry, so I made you an indoor picnic." Sally had put a tablecloth down on the living room floor with potted plants at the corners to keep it in place, and laid out on the tablecloth was a delicious picnic of cakes, biscuits, crisps, drinks, and jam sandwiches. "Wow, thanks, Mum," said Spot. "We are starving. We didn't mind getting wet at all, but we did mind eating soggy sandwiches. Thanks, Mum." If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. We have a new story every day, so make sure you subscribe. The end.